everyone, ready for something a little different today?
I think it's what we all need.
Totally. We're ditching the hustle harder playbook.
Music to my ears.
Right. This deep dive is all about finding a different path.
Love it.
We're using The Minimalist Entrepreneur by Sahil Lavingia as our guide.
Great choice. His story is so interesting.
It really is. We'll unpack his ideas for building a business on your own EF1 terms.
Not someone else's.
Exactly. We're using his book and some podcast interviews he's done.
Even better. Get those different angles.
Definitely. And you know what makes this really interesting?
What's that?
Lavingia isn't some armchair theorist.
Oh, tell me about it.
He's walked the walk as the founder of Gumroad.
He really has.
He went down that traditional road.
Venture capital, right.
You got it. Venture capital and chasing hypergrowth. It didn't deliver the results he expected.
That's got to be rough.
Yeah, and it's like he's saying, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, here's a better way.
I like where this is going.
Right. He actually had to downsize Gumroad significantly.
Wow. How much are we talking?
He went from a team of 80 to just 7.
Seriously?
Yeah, because that growth at all costs mentality just wasn't sustainable.
I can see that. So what happened?
It really adds weight to his argument, you know?
It makes it real.
Totally. That experience, it forced him to step back.
To rethink things.
Exactly. Redefine what success really meant for him.
Interesting. So what did he come up with?
It wasn't about chasing unicorn status or keeping investors happy.
It's usually all about the investors.
It was about building a business aligned with his values.
Okay.
That also allowed him to live a fulfilling life.
I like that. So how do we do it?
Well, let's break down what this minimalist entrepreneur approach actually looks like.
Yeah, let's get into it.
What are the core principles?
Well, one of the big ones is starting small.
Okay.
And scaling intentionally.
So not going all in right away.
You got it.
Yeah.
Instead of aiming for massive growth right out of the gate, you focus on solving a specific problem for a specific group of people.
So kind of like Gumroad itself.
Precisely.
It's not trying to be the next Amazon.
But
it's serving a niche audience of creators.
who want to sell their work directly.
Exactly.
And that's a really important takeaway for anyone listening.
Even if you aren't in the tech world.
Yes. This applies across the board.
I love that.
What's that one thing you're truly passionate about?
Good question.
Can you build a business, even a small one, that solves a problem?
And provides value in that area.
Yeah, think about that.
It takes the pressure off needing a billion-dollar idea.
It does.
Makes it much more approachable.
Absolutely. And you know what?
What's that?
This actually leads into another key aspect Lavingia stresses.
Oh, what's that?
Building a strong community
Okay.
before you even build your product.
So before you even have something to sell.
Exactly.
So we're talking it takes a village, but for entrepreneurs.
Yeah. In a way, yes. But it's more about really understanding your audience.
Okay.
Connecting with your target audience.
And how does that work exactly?
Lavingia's argument is that by engaging with your community early on
Yeah.
and keeping those lines of communication open,
Okay.
you can validate your ideas,
Oh, that's smart.
get feedback,
Yeah.
and even turn those community members
Yeah.
into your biggest supporters.
That's amazing.
It really is.
So it flips the script on traditional marketing then.
100%.
It's not about shouting your message from the rooftops.
No more billboards.
It's about listening.
And having a two-way conversation.
That's pretty cool.
It is. And that's where the minimal part really comes into play.
Oh, how so?
You're not throwing money at ads or chasing vanity metrics.
You're focusing on building authentic relationships.
Yes. Relationships that will organically fuel your business growth over time.
That's smart.
It's about quality interactions over quantity. Building something that's built to last.
Which actually reminds me, Lavingia is also a huge proponent of something else.
Oh, what's that?
Being profitable from day one.
Now, that's a concept.
Right. And that might sound radical.
In a world obsessed with venture capital.
And rapid scaling.
But it makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
It does. It's like taking control of your own destiny.
Right.
No more answering to investors or feeling pressured to make decisions.
That don't align with your vision.
Exactly.
When you're generating revenue from the start,
Yeah.
you have the freedom to make choices that are best for your business.
And for your own well-being.
You're not beholden to anyone else's timeline or definition of success.
And speaking of, We are in the 21st century, after all.
The age of technology?
So how does tech fit into this whole minimalist entrepreneur philosophy?
Oh, that's where Lavingia gets really interesting.
Does he?
He's not anti-technology at all.
Okay.
But he's all about using it strategically and minimally.
What does that look like in practice?
He's basically saying, don't overcomplicate things.
So use tech to enhance your business.
Yes.
Not define it.
You've got it.
Gotcha.
It's about choosing the tools that streamline your operations.
And improve your customer experience.
Yes. It's not about chasing the latest shiny object or feeling like you need every piece of software out there.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Now that's a concept I can get behind.
Right. Refreshing to hear in the entrepreneurial world.
Definitely.
And that actually reminds me of something else from the book.
Okay, what's that?
Lavingia talks about the importance of focus, right?
He does. He sees focus as essential.
For any minimalist entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in a world overflowing with distractions.
So many opportunities, so little time.
Right. It's more important than ever to say no.
To anything that doesn't directly contribute to your goals.
You've got it. Be intentional with your time and energy.
It's like that 80-20 rule, right?
Exactly.
80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts.
But finding that crucial 20%.
That takes serious focus.
It does. And it's not just about saying no to external distractions.
Oh, what else then?
It's about being mindful of your own time and energy internally.
Okay, I think I get you. So, like, how we spend our time even when we're working.
Yes. Are you really prioritizing the tasks that move the needle for your business?
Instead of getting bogged down in busy work.
Exactly. Stuff that just feels productive.
Oh, I've been there.
Haven't we all?
Lost in a sea of to-do list items.
That don't actually matter.
In the grand scheme of things.
It's so easy to get caught up in that.
It really is.
And that's actually where Lavingia's critique of the venture capital myth comes in.
The myth. What do you mean by that?
Well, he argues that this pressure to constantly grow and scale.
Which is huge, by the way.
It is. It's everywhere you turn.
So he's saying that pressure can actually be a bad thing.
He says it can be a major obstacle to building a fulfilling business.
And a sustainable one, too.
Yes. A business that lasts.
That's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Especially in the startup world.
Where venture capital is king.
Right. It makes you wonder.
Is venture capital always the holy grail it's made out to be?
That's the question Lavingia wants us to ask.
He's not saying it's inherently bad, though, right?
No, not at all. He challenges the assumption that it's the only path to success.
Interesting. So what does he offer as an alternative?
He's a huge advocate for bootstrapping.
For those who aren't familiar, what exactly is bootstrapping?
Bootstrapping is basically funding your business yourself.
You mean no investors?
You got it. You're not relying on external investors.
Okay, so you have more control.
Exactly. More control over your growth trajectory.
And that allows for?
Slower, more sustainable growth. It's about building a company with your own resources.
Which could be?
Personal savings, revenue, things like that.
So it's about weighing the trade-offs.
I think so.
Venture capital might sound glamorous.
Oh, that money.
But it often comes with strings attached.
Pressured to deliver.
On someone else's expectations.
And on their timeline.
And Lavingia learned that the hard way, huh?
Oh, did. His experience with Gumroad taught him that sometimes less is more.
That's a good lesson.
Stepping back from the venture capital treadmill, it allowed him to build a business his way.
That was not only profitable,
but also aligned with his values and lifestyle.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's refreshing to hear a successful entrepreneur talk about success differently.
It's not all about dollars and cents.
It's about personal fulfillment.
And sustainability.
Building a business that serves your life.
Not the other way around.
Exactly. And you know, in the book, Lavingia, he asks a really thought-provoking question.
Oh, what's that?
He asks, what does your ideal workday look like?
Wow. It seems so simple.
But it's such a powerful question.
It really is. It makes you think about your priorities.
In your work life and in your personal life.
Absolutely. Yeah. What does a truly fulfilling day look like to you?
Right. Like, do you picture yourself working long hours in a high-pressure environment?
Or are you craving flexibility and autonomy?
Do you want to be on the front lines every day?
Or are you more into building systems that let you focus on the big picture?
Makes you think about what you really want, you know?
It does.
And it's not just for seasoned entrepreneurs, is it?
Not at all.
This question, it's relevant whether you're just starting out,
Or you've been at it for years.
been running your own show for years, exactly.
It really applies to everyone. And that's what I like about this whole minimalist approach.
It's adaptable, right?
Exactly. It's not one size fits all. It's about defining what success means to you,
And then
building a business that supports that vision. Makes sense, right?
it totally does. So how do the principles of minimalism actually help you get there?
Good question.
Because it's more than like having a tidy desk
Right. Way more.
and a capsule wardrobe, right? I mean, minimalism, we usually think about the stuff, but this is different.
This is about your business.
Exactly.
It's about applying those core principles of minimalism, intentionality, simplicity.
Being essential, getting down to what matters.
Yes. Essentialism to every aspect of your business.
Yeah.
Stripping away the unnecessary.
Like what? Give me an example.
Think about the busy work,
Yeah.
the distractions,
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of those.
all that pressure to conform to someone else's definition of success.
Look at that.
Exactly. Yep. And then you can focus on what truly matters to you. To you, not to them.
Creating space for what you value, both in your business.
And in your life.
It's all connected.
It really is. And that might look different for everyone.
How so?
For some, it might mean building a business that lets them travel and work.
The digital nomad life.
Exactly. For others, it might be about flexibility, being able to spend time with their kids.
Or pursue passions outside of work.
100%. It's about having the freedom to design your ideal life.
So freedom seems to be a big theme here, huh?
Definitely. Freedom is at the heart of this whole minimalist entrepreneur approach.
Freedom to define your own version of success. Freedom to build a business that aligns with your values.
Absolutely.
Freedom to design a life you love.
It's all about freedom. And that's really Lavingia's main message, I think. What he wants us to remember.
From the Minimalist Entrepreneur.
Exactly. It's not about building a business that just makes money.
There's going to be more to it.
There is. It's about building something that makes a difference.
For you.
For you, for your community, for the world.
Wow, I love that.
It's about aligning your goals with a bigger purpose, something you really believe in.
It's about rejecting the grind, that whole idea that entrepreneurship has to be so hard.
It doesn't have to be constant hustle.
And embracing a more mindful way to build something meaningful.
Exactly.
Not just sustaining your bank account.
But sustaining your soul. That's what it's all about.
That's powerful. This deep dive, it's given us a lot to think about.
It has.
It's a call to action, I think.
To redefine success.
On our own terms.
And to build businesses that support the lives we want.
Yes. If you're feeling inspired, check out The Minimalist Entrepreneur. It's a great read.
I highly recommend it.
And in the meantime, ask yourself, if you could design your ideal workday, what'd that look like? How can being a minimalist entrepreneur help you get there? Until next time, everyone, happy building.